presented by Capital One. The fans file out of the stadium, and then they all come back in as they get excited to watch Washington making their first trip to Omaha, taking on Mississippi State, the Huskies, and the Bulldogs here at TD Ameritrade. Earlier today, in a record-setting game, if for no other reason, the time that the game took, over 4 hours and 20 minutes, longest 9-inning game in College World Series history. And Nick Madrigal and Oregon State still reeling. They couldn't win last year. They didn't win today. They lose 8-6. Carolina 1-0, and they will take on the winner of this one. Oregon State in the loser's bracket will take on the loser, and 2 more games tomorrow beginning at 2 Eastern time on Father's Day. Welcome everybody alongside Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez. Laura Rutledge will join us shortly. Cinderella for sure. Washington, they've never been here before. Mississippi State had to play 5 elimination games, and they won them all. The Super Regionals were as exciting as any we've ever had.
They were, and this is a club that we didn't even know if they'd be in the postseason. They started 2-7 in the SEC. Lost their head coach after 3 games, but when they got in the postseason and they needed it most, Elijah McNamee showed up. 2 outs, 2 strikes, down 2 against Florida State. That walk-off kept the season going, but McNamee wouldn't end. Game 1 of the Super against Vandy, that walked it off. Mississippi State would win the Super in 3 games and get this guy to Omaha for the first time. Jake Mancom's been all SEC all 3 years. He had never won a Super Regional game until this year. He's the heart and soul of this club, and he's a big reason why they're here.
And not only did both of these teams win Game 3s in the Super Regionals, they also won them on the road. Washington had to go to take on Fullerton, and they beat them in the last game.
They did, and you talk about a 100-pound differential. I'm going to show you a 100-pound differential right now.
You and me? You're talking about me?
No, I'm not talking about you and I. No, I'm talking about these guys right here. Braden Ward, over 40% of the time he's on base, and when he's on base, he loves to steal. Probably the fastest guy in the College World Series right now. And if he gets on, well, you can't forget about the number 4 hole hitter. This guy can absolutely rake. Joe Wainhouse, he is probably 6'7" or 8 or 9. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is this: he weighs over 100 pounds more than Ward, and both of them together, they create a lot of havoc offensively.
Yeah, that's a 400-pound beast when you put them together. Laura Rutledge will join us when we come back. We'll talk all about Washington and the trip they have made for the first time to Omaha. Let's get rolling.
First pitch on the way here in Omaha, where Washington is here for the first time. And they said, look, we know no one thought that we would be here. They are so excited, obviously, to be here, but they believe that they could do it. In fact, Lindsey Meggs, their head coach, said when he got hired, he told some people around him, I'll take a team to Omaha. They laughed in his face. All the while, it was difficult. They played 6 different guys at second base this year, 5 different outfielders due to injuries, but here they are now. They even have a room that reminded them of that belief back at their home stadium. It's called their Omaha room. On the wall, it says the forecast is purple rain, and that is the royal kind, not the weather, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thank you, Laura. Look forward to hearing from Laura throughout the telecast and all of the 2 weeks taking us up to the championship. Washington's Omaha room looks just like that. Husky baseball, and the forecast, as she said, purple rain. No actual rain in the forecast as we take a look at our Capital One batting order. And the Huskies will bat first, and we'll lead it off with Cirillo, your big boy Joe Wainhouse in the middle, hitting .312, but his home runs have been the story.
Yeah, we've already talked about Ward and Wainhouse, but you can't forget about the guy in the middle. The heart and soul of this team. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in the tournament. You look at him, he's behind the plate, but in the 3 spot, he can really rake.
What do you think Nick Cale's nickname is?
Haley?
Kale, like superfood. Oh, power food. On the mound, Ethan Small.
Small's pushed into the ace role for Mississippi State towards the end of the season. 3-pitch mix, fastball will get into the low 90s. Change can be a plus if he uses it. He didn't use it a lot against Vanderbilt. Throws a spike breaking ball. 112 strikeouts, are 3rd in the SEC this year.
North Carolina won the first game, and the first pitch of the night is underway. Ball 1 from Ethan Small. At the plate, Mason Cirillo, left fielder out of Auburn, Washington, at 5'8", 170. Two and 0. 6 of 26 in the NCAA tournament, 4 RBIs, a couple of runs. He was 3 for 13 in both the regional and supers. Right down the middle in the first strike from Ethan Small. Small, a 3.11 ERA, 5-3 and 89 2/3 innings pitched with 112 strikeouts, 82 hits in those 89 plus innings. He's given up 7 home runs. And if you watch the earlier game, home runs are hard to come by, especially for a left-handed hitter. Spinning ball to short, fielded cleanly, and Luke Alexander is there to make the play. And that'll bring up Braden Ward, the speedster that Eduardo talked about, a freshman, and they got a handful of freshmen in both of these lineups. 5'10", $150.
One thing that both corner infielders have to do for Mississippi State is they have to play way in. I'm talking about maybe 5 feet in front of the bag, especially at third base. Right now, Foskey just a little too deep at third. Ward likes the bunt, very polished at the plate when it comes to getting the ball down.
5'10", 150 for the freshman from Merced, who can absolutely fly.
KJ Brady, a teammate of his, said he is the fastest player I've ever seen. Yeah! Just looking at him, he reminds me a little bit of Steve Finley. Remember Steve Finley, the outfielder for the Diamondbacks? Ward plays center field. He's got 18 stolen bases on the season. And the 1-1. Yeah! Breaking ball in there for a strike. The 18 steals, leads the Pac-12. Another breaking ball. Here's that speed. We'll see if he can beat it out. Post play, but another good play by Luke Alexander.
It's pretty good right there, Eddie, because the transfer has got to be perfect. If he takes another step, there is no chance you're going to throw Ward out. From the left side, he gets down the line in a hurry. Alexander charges, glove on the side. And a quick transfer right to that right arm, throws just off the right foot. If it takes him any more time, Ward beats it out for an infield single.
Love where the transfer was done, right in the midsection of the body. See a lot of middle infielders mistakenly do it away from the body. That's where they create those mistakes.
Nick Cale bats now. He's a sophomore at 5'10". Breaking ball not close. Out of Simi Valley, California, hit 293 this season. Power 6 home runs, 35 RBIs, and he has scored 43.
Here you go.
While Washington is making its first trip here, they have had great success in the Pac-12, which oftentimes doesn't get the recognition that other power conferences get. 3 of the last 4 years, they finished top 3 in the league. That one is poured in for a strike.
Game away from winning it this year. Went 20-10 in a pack. Came down to the last day against Stanford. Stanford came back late, so Washington was an at-large to get into the tournament.
With an RPI of 63. Lowest RPI of any of the teams that are here.
You win 20 games in a pack, you can play. And they beat some good ones, too. 2 out of 3 from Stanford towards the end of the year. 2 out of 3 from UCLA.
And every team deals with injuries. This team has dealt with perhaps more than any. They've used 6 different second basemen. They've used 5 different left fielders. So Lindsey Meggs, the coach, has had a juggle. We've got 3 plays for the shortstop, and Alexander is perfect on all of them. Clean inning for Ethan Small, and the Bulldogs come to the plate for the first time in Omaha when we come back. And there is Gary Henderson, who is the interim head coach in his first College World Series, and just named today and won the award as the Division I Coach of the Year. And yet he's not necessarily going to be the guy that takes over this program when this season ends. That's a decision that hasn't been made by the administration or the athletic director. So he's in an interim position trying to win a College World Series, not necessarily knowing what his future is. He loves having Jake Mangum lead off, and here he is swinging at the first pitch. The junior, 6'1", 182, out of Pearl, Mississippi. It is an odd situation.
It is a very odd situation to be the national coach of the year and not be a head coach at the beginning of the year. I don't know if that's ever happened before, and to get to this point and not know the immediate future. He does know he gets to see this guy for a few more days, though.
Yeah.
And Jake Mangum is one of those guys that when you talk to opposing coaches, you talk to opposing players, this is the guy that they all circle.
How does a guy like this go in the 32nd round?
I mean, the only thing he doesn't have is power right now. He's got everything else.
What the coach was telling us about him, Mangum, he's got this football mentality.
Yeah.
You know, game's on the line, and he tends to go to a different level. And he is on go all the time. He has swung at all 3 pitches and fouled them all off. Hit .353 during the regular season, and he laces one into right. Good start on a changeup for Jake Mangum. Now that we've seen the leadoff guy get on, we'll take a look at the rest of our Capital One batting order. It's Rowdy Jordan 2, Tanner Allen, Hunter Stovall, the second baseman, hits cleanup for them, and then McNamee, who you guys all talked about, who has gone on just a power tear. It is a bit odd, Eddie, not to hit a home run in your first 32 games, then all of a sudden just pound like you're a home run hitter the entire season.
A lot of confidence during the season and a lot of adjustments at the plate for Mississippi State.
Jordan pounds one, double play ball, tailor-made for the shortstop, Levi Jordan. And a good start for Joe Demers. In spite of giving up that hit, a runner is erased.
Well, and you're going to see a lot of those. He's going to throw you a ton of ground balls. Demers has a little bit different motion. We'll go through it as the game goes on, but he is an elite strike thrower. He's done it his entire year. For Demers, 123 innings. He's walked just 20. Fastball will get into the low 90s, throws a slider and a changeup, and you will see all 3 in any count at any time against righties or lefties.
Again, you can't emphasize the numbers enough. 20 walks, 92 strikeouts. And he pours that one in there for a strike. So an aggressive start for Mississippi State, swinging the bat. And the freshman is Tanner Allen out of Theodore, Alabama, 5'11", 181. Hit .298 with 5 homers, 44 RBI. Swings at that.
And because he's always in the zone, Carl, it's one of the biggest reasons why hitters have to be swinging. It's an uncomfortable swing. You think you are going to barrel it. Next thing you know, it's on the ground. Demers is very comfortable with runners on base also.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that double play is 1 pitch away.
0-2. Didn't get in the chase.
He's efficient, too. I mean, threw a perfect game earlier this season through 87 pitches. In the Super Regional against Cal State Fullerton, was perfect through 6, had thrown 51 pitches. He's just very comfortable with early contact.
That perfect game into the 7th came after he had saved game 1 in the Super Regional. This season he has been their Saturday starter primarily, and usually in college baseball your ace is your Friday night starter. They went in with a little different approach. Ground ball to third. Willie McIver throws him out, and a good start for the pitchers tonight. Demers outstanding on the mound. Washington and Mississippi State trying to get a leg up here in the College World Series. 2018 College World Series. Let's get to some of the headlines. Florida defending its title. South Carolina the last to do it in 10 and 11. 89 combined College World Series appearances. So many familiar schools are here. Texas, will see them tomorrow. We got a couple of great players. We got a lot of great players, but Singer and Cody Clemens. Singer the pitcher for Florida. Clemens the second baseman for Texas. Golden Spikes finalists. Arkansas is here. Andrew Benintendi, a former Golden Spike winner. You got Washington. You got Mississippi State. The Longhorns. We saw North Carolina and Oregon State. And we look forward to seeing the Gators get in their first action with Power Arms. And speaking of power, the house has made his way to the plate. Joe Wainhouse, the designated hitter, 13 homers his last 18 games. A senior, 6'6", 255. And they got a big shift on for Wainhouse, who, as the coach told us earlier, this is an accomplished hitter. And if you're going to shift on him, and they think it may prevent him from swinging for a homer to right. He may be able to go to left and down that third baseline and get on base.
Yeah, that swing path will show you the ability to hit the ball to left center. That's for sure. First pitch breaking ball, then a fastball in there to go 0-2 on Wainhouse. Now watch the fastball up. I think the one thing when you see Wainhouse, Eddie, we were talking about a little bit, those hands are low, and if you want to go after him late, there's nothing wrong with elevating the fastball.
I think you can go early also with the fastball up.
He did go the other way with it, and Luke Alexander throws him out. So Alexander has made all 4 outs tonight. Wainhouse, whose Major League Baseball fans know the last name Wainhouse. His dad is Dave Wainhouse, who pitched for 7 years at the Major League level.
See that ground ball right there. Good positioning for Mississippi State. It's a big man. They paid a lot of attention to him during their early scouting reports.
Levi Jordan, the very capable shortstop, senior at 5'8", looks at a high pitch for a strike. Jordan hit over 300 with 8 homers and 42 RBIs and has had a very good tournament, 11 for 26.
21.
Changeup misses away. You know, you watched Oregon State earlier today, guys, and obviously they've had back-to-back phenomenal seasons, regular seasons and postseasons until they get to Omaha. Kyle, you played here. Eddie, you know this field. Is there something about the stage the first time that, even though you were here last year, that maybe affects the way you play? They didn't look comfortable.
No. From the first pitch.
Right.
I mean, Caden Grenier has unbelievable set of hands at shortstop. The first pitch, he kicks one, and really they did not look like the team we saw during most of the season.
So tell me about the stage then. You've been here. You've played on it.
Matters. I mean, it's a different stage, man. There gets to be a point during the course of the game, and it's different for everybody, to where you don't pay attention to the stage anymore. You're just playing the game. The key is how fast can you get to that point.
And the pregame routine that you have during the regular season, regionals, super regionals, it's not the same in the College World Series. You don't get to hit on the field. The ground balls are different. Your pregame routine is completely different, and we saw it early on today.
Great breaking ball. Levi Jordan, the first strikeout for Ethan Small tonight. Here are the errors that were made by Oregon State today. Oregon State just doesn't make errors. They don't walk guys. They don't hit guys. And Luke Heimlich is doing that today. Then it was sort of spread around. Quan in center field looked up at that base runner, and in doing so, the ball went under his glove.
And I mean, these are things you just don't see from Oregon State. It's Luke Heimlich's shortest outing of his career, combined with the defense that does not kick balls, that kicks some balls that really weren't tough plays. I mean, it was a two-hopper to shortstop. It's a ground ball in the outfield to Quan. And yet, they were still in the ballgame at the end.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In Corvallis, it's artificial surface, right?
Yeah.
First ground ball of the game, he drops to a knee. On this field, you cannot do that.
Yeah,
it's too fast of an infield. Yeah. You have to move your feet.
A.J. Graffinino pulls one down the line and right, and it's deep. And it's a fair ball into the corner, bounces over the wall. And the son of former Major Leaguer Tony Graffinino ends up with a double down the line.
Well, Tony, I hope you're catching some salmon over there in Alaska, or skiing well, because your son right here up and in. And we talked about this earlier with the coaching staff. Up and in, he can get his hands quick through the zone. This is one of the reasons why he was drafted. Keeps getting better year after year, and the power is going to come.
This kid can hit.
Really polished at the plate.
He can hit. I mean, he missed half the season, and so he's still getting back to the point to where he's feeling 100%, but still coming in hitting .373 and just over 100 at bats this year, and you can see he can spin on a fastball.
Willie McIver bats now. McIver, a 6'2", 212-pounder.
Cut.
With an RBI opportunity, and Justin Skelton's going to go out and talk with Ethan Small for a second. Graffinino was the shortstop, and then he got hurt, as Kyle mentioned, so Levi Jordan went over to short. And Jordan was doing such a good job, and Graffinino, with the injuries to his leg, wasn't moving the way he did, so they kept him at second base, and it's worked out obviously beautifully for Lindsey Meggs.
He's got two shortstops now. That's not a problem.
Pretty good.
Up the middle.
Works out okay. and it's a team that really is built on that defense. They've defended at an elite level the entire year.
Graffinino's 6th double this season, and one out of McIver gets a piece of the outside corner. Willie McIver and his best friend and pitcher today, Joe Demers, grew up together. Played literally since they were 8 years old together. On a travel team, they came to Omaha and got a chance to watch some of the last World Series games played at Rosenblatt. And of course, then they discussed how cool would it be if we could ever come back here and play in a College World Series. Long before they knew that Rosenblatt wouldn't be part of the future, but they're playing in the College World Series together. And when they were growing up, McIver was the catcher for Demers. He doesn't catch now, although at the next level, that's likely where he's going to end up. Fouls that one out of play. When they were on the same team together as 8-year-olds. Now, depending on where you come, I'm not sure all 8-year-olds are pitching. Sometimes they're still playing machine pitch, but Demers was pitching on this team that was coached by McIver's dad. And years later, his dad told him that when he pitched, he had a perfect season. Not a perfect game, but a perfect season. He never allowed a base runner.
Wow.
No walks, didn't hit anybody as an 8-year-old. No one ever got on base.
Season?
I know, but they threw 4 innings, and he never allowed a base runner.
Still doing it.
And he's still doing it.
3-2.
You're a major league pitcher. You ever go through an 8-year-old season and not allow a base runner? No. Come on. No. Now, McIver's worked it to a full count. And again, Graffinino, some hamstring issues. It's a tough run around the bases, especially with the outfield playing so shallow on a single. That's a foul ball.
It's a good pitch to foul off right there. You know, Small in the back, in his back pocket has a changeup also, but you have to be hunting the fastball, ready to adjust. Pitch is not where you want it, just foul it off. Regroup again.
There's a whole story behind the Bananas in Mississippi State, which we'll peel away the layers on and give you the whole background. Jam shot off his foot.
Bananas get a little ripe tonight. 96. Humid. Nope.
Mushy. Rutledge has been like preparing all day to break down the banana story for us, because there's a pretty rich history to it with Mississippi State and this season. And that guy that you just saw.
Right now with the lefty on deck, there's no way I come in with a fastball down the middle.
Popped up on the infield. Playable for Alexander, and he makes the play. That'll do it. We'll go banana cake, banana bread, banana pudding. We'll just go bananas when we come back with Laura.
So when Carl Ravitch asks us to clear up this whole banana story of Mississippi State, that's what I'm here to do, and we're going to tell you how it started. It all began with Jordan Westburt, a freshman on this Mississippi State team. They were down to basically their final strike in Tallahassee, and he said, we got to get something going. He pulls a banana out of his bag. It was kind of an old banana. He puts it on his head. They start to rally. That's actually Westburt's lucky banana for the day today. He said the selection was not great in the hotel, so it's a little mushy, but they will continue to rally around these bananas as they did in Mississippi State.
And a leadoff single. Go ahead, Laura. Hunter Stovall is aboard.
I think that happened because the banana was out.
No doubt.
That will continue to be a theme. The fans have completely taken it out of control. Bananas are taking over Omaha. They even made up about 600 to 1,000 foam bananas that are all over the place. They say Oma dogs on them, and there are many banana boys that you'll see around this stadium. They thought it was funny at first, and now they actually believe that it's lucky.
They are bought in. In fact, they bought out in Starkville of bananas. They can't find them anymore. They've been taken off shelves. Many apparel companies there are using bananas on shirts. You can't buy those anymore. So once you talk about the banana, good things happen. Uh-oh, look out, line drive, double play here on a short hop. Levi Jordan and Graffinino have been outstanding.
They had this 2 times in a row now. 2 times in a row. Leadoff man on, Mangum gets on in the first. Right after that first pitch, Rowdy Jordan double play. Now the exact same thing right here. Stovall leadoff single, missile to short. Levi Jordan wakes, takes a short hop, plenty of time to flip the Graffinino. And this is the thing with Demers. Is the heartbeat is the same if there's a guy on, 2 guys on, nobody on. It's just in that spot doing everything to get a ground ball. He got 2 right away in this ball game.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Justin Foscue bats now. He's a freshman, and there's a good 2-seamer at 88 in there for a strike.
Well, the approach of the Dogs has to change. Has to be go the other way if you're a right-handed hitter. If you try to pull the ball, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman or shortstop.
That is to third and a short hop. And a very quick inning. He threw only 4 pitches. Oma Dogs and the banana didn't work that time. 0-0 through 2.
College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet?
You see that picture there? It says Jug. That's the Jug bat for Washington. Mississippi State has a rally banana, and Washington has the Jug bat. Jug is a Bay Area term that basically means you get something cheaper than what it costs. So it's a good thing, according to the Washington players, and they'll chant Jug a lot. The Jug bat happened because Graffinino actually broke a bat, and the entire bottom half of the bat went inside the top half. And so they decided the bat would be lucky. They created the Jug top out of an old Cliff Bars box, and now it is their rally cry throughout games.
Makes sense.
The banana story is a little easier to follow. But I like it.
How?
Every year you come, and whether it's kids from Arizona or Florida, wherever they're from, they have phenomenal creativity. So I'm all about the Jug bat. Graffinino with that hit today, by the way, is 14 for 27 in the tournament. And Christian Jones, as we have 8-9-1 here in the third, 6'2", 235-pound sophomore out of Federal Way, Washington. There's Graffinino.
He's going to see another one of those. You see a swing like that in a breaking ball, I'd be shocked if they don't come right back with it.
And they did.
Now you throw it again. And there's no. And to me, until a hitter makes an adjustment, at least a swing adjustment, it makes it look like they're on it. So just swung through the breaking ball. You can see the spike curveball that Small throws right there, outer half. Jones made enough of an adjustment there to get a piece of it, but still all the way out in front of it. Now move a little bit further off. 1-2 count. You can expand the plate a little bit more.
And what do you do as a hitter? If you know a curveball's coming, Eddie?
Look up. You don't look for it because it's going to be a ball. That's why you have to look up. That's the pitch, actually. It was called a ball, but that's the hittable pitch.
Right.
So if it's up, you're good to swing at it. And now 3-2.
3-2.
Jones having a good tournament out of the 8th spot. 5 for 13, a double, a triple, a run.
If he trusts throwing the curveball, this is it right here. Jones will chase, even 3-2.
Foul tip into the mitt. Second strikeout for Ethan Small.
3 straight breaking balls earlier in the count for Jones. This time 3-2 count. Ethan Small comes right back, lets the fastball go. He's been 89-90 with that one. Control's been pretty good though, and that's the one thing that will get Small. 32 walks in 89 2/3 coming into this one, but he's been clean so far tonight.
And he'll face the number 9 hitter, Jonathan Schiffer, the first baseman, a freshman, another one out of Irvine, California. This team with 14 freshmen, 16 newcomers for Lindsey Meggs. And they were 20 and 19 at the start of May and have gone 15 and 5 since then. Late on that one at 90 miles an hour, and quickly ahead is Ethan Small, 0-2.
For Washington, they also got healthy.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was the biggest thing, is battling so many injuries during the course of the season. Now they're finally healthy. As healthy as they've been the entire season. It's led to that turnaround for them late in the year.
Way outside. He doesn't chase. He threw it right to the glove.
Tell you what, if he can throw that curveball right now, spike it in the dirt, get Skelton to block it, could have yourself a swing and miss right here.
Just misses with a pitch up.
Hey, take pitches. You got it 1 in, 1 out.
Dustin Skelton's a catcher. Watches Eddie. Did you ever realize this or think about this? I mean, if a guy's doing that, because clearly, I mean, in that spot he's doing it to try to make anybody think. It's one of those things. Honestly, you see in a college game, you don't see as you move on, but it's just trying to get some thought into the hitter that you're coming in, and then Skelton moving away.
Ripped into left field. That's going to get down. Schiffer will take a wide turn, but stay right there. He's aboard as we turn it over to the leadoff hitter, Cirillo. Sunday Night Baseball is at Busch Stadium this week as the Cubs take on the Cardinals in one of those National League showdowns. Coverage starts at 7. Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown with Adnan Virk, John Farrell, Jim Bowden on the call of the Baseball Tonight show. Cubs cards at 8 Eastern time. Cubs leading 2-1 tonight in the third. Marcell Ozuna has been great. He had a 2-run home run in that one. And typical of the Cardinals, they continue to just be there. As you know, Eddie, following that game very closely. The pitching has been really good. Walk has been crazy good. And Jose Martinez and Ozuna have hit well. So that's the Sunday night game. Mendoza locked into us already. She's just texting about how she misses the College World Series. And she loves the jug bat. She's into that story.
Oh, yeah.
She's into that. There's another single. Mason Cirillo. And Washington in business with 2 aboard and 1 down.
That's a nice piece of hitting right there by Cirillo. Not trying to do so much. Exactly what he did in Super Regionals. Drive the ball the other way. Pitch out over the plate. Stays balanced behind it. Lets it get deep. Drives it right over Alexander's head. Good communication out there in the outfield also.
Second inning in a row that the Huskies have had a base runner at second base. Braden Ward, he grounded to short his first time up. In fact, the 1, 2, 3 hitters all grounded to short in the first inning.
Got to be aware with the bunt right here. He could drag, take it with him.
Ward has been an on-base machine. He has reached base safely in 48 of his last 51 games.
One thing he hasn't done this year is hit a home run. You can see Mangum playing shallow out in center field. Wins a part of that, but the scouting report on Ward is a big part of that too. He can beat you a lot of different ways, but the ball over your head in the outfield is usually not one of them.
And the wind all day long has been blowing in and has knocked down what would be home run balls last season. The weather is supposed to change over the course of the next few days, so perhaps we'll see those balls actually leave TD Ameritrade, and that's a balk. I heard the home plate umpire Frank Sylvester call a balk, and because of that, runners move in a scoring position.
It's a little hitch. Just a little hitch. Watch the movement. Really, it's the movement of Luke Alexander, the shortstop, who's going to cover right here. Schiffer takes a step back and then right. Now, there wasn't much.
No, it wasn't.
There wasn't a whole lot. There was also no argument. So.
That's a balk!
Frank Sylvester's home plate umpire saw it right there. Gary Henderson, the interim head coach, on his way out to talk. There was just enough of a twitch right there, and really it was caused by 2 things. One, the shortstop Alexander covering, and then Schiffer taking a jab step back to second. It's made Ethan Small uncomfortable for a minute. Moves 2 Washington runners in the scoring position.
And one of the unique aspects of college baseball, I think Eddie and I just looked at each other. I thought maybe there was a weather issue. Everybody cleared the field when pitching coach went out to talk to Ethan Small. Every runner left the base to come in to talk to the head coach. Every infielder is now on the mound, and the outfielders all gathered in center field.
And you got to be aware right here, and I think this conversation is not only just to settle Small down, but also to let him know what the Huskies usually do in these situations. Runner at second and third right. runner at second and third right now. But you have a really good runner at the plate.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be very aware right now because of the speed. Bring in the corners. See how close Allen is at first base also.
You almost have to assume that you're going to see a safety in this spot.
And instead, a hit matter. They're not going to keep Ward at the plate. And the bases are loaded. And the game's moving a little quick right now for Ethan Small.
It's a breaking ball that just got away from him. Ethan Small has only hit 2 guys all year, so this doesn't happen very much. But trying to get the breaking ball in there, the left-handed hit, Ward slipped out of his hand. Ward's not going anywhere, and the Huskies have the bases loaded.
For Nick Cale, who's got 2 home runs, and one of those was a grand slam. 6 on the season, 2 home runs in the postseason. The grand slam was against Coastal, and he is 7 for 26 in the postseason. Big chance early for Washington here in the third with the bases loaded. And Cale rips one on the ground hard. That's a double play ball. How about the play by Hunter Stovall, who caught it with his bare hand and made that turn on a 6-4-3 double play.
Watch Alexander. Look at the feed. Look at Stovall. Catches the bare hand, almost drops it, regroups, makes a great throw to first. Gotta like it.
Home to Kyle Peterson. And this week home to the College World Series, and will conclude with the Championship World Series finals beginning next Monday. Double elimination format, 8 teams here, 64 started this. And you're down to the Elite 8, if you will. Going 1-0 has proven to be huge. 2-0, even better. 2 losses and you go home. Big double play there to end the top of the third. So Mississippi State still with a clean slate, and they come to bat here in the bottom of the third. Luke Alexander, Dustin Skelton, Jordan Westberg. Alexander, a junior at 6 feet 192, swings right through that at 88 miles an hour.
You look at the miles per hour, 88, 89. That's where he wants to live.
Yes.
If he gets a little stronger, starts throwing 92, 93, that fastball, that 2-seamer starts flattening it out, making it easy on the hitters.
Rip back up the middle, just a hard shot. And Luke Alexander for the 3rd consecutive inning. Mississippi State has the leadoff runner on.
The College World Series Finals begin Monday, June 25th at 7 on ESPN.
Look forward to that. But first, we got a whole tournament to play. And the story has been for Mississippi State, leadoff guy on, double play. We'll see if Dustin Skelton can avoid that. They have done it twice. Skelton, the catcher, 6 foot 197 pounder. He lays down a bunt. It's a good one. They got the second baseman a little late. Did he get his foot on the bag? Yes, says the first base umpire. Looked like AJ was searching for the bag for a second, but a sacrifice moves Alexander to second.
Guys, Eddie's been talking a lot about Mississippi State trying to figure out a way to not just hit it to the left side of the infield. Jake Mangum, after his hit, came back to the dugout telling the righties, you got to see it middle to the right side of the field. Also saying it's not as fast as it looks, and it's so down and consistently down in almost a foot of space that you got to see it down there.
And he's right. And right there, they just bunted because they realized the double play has been part of his game. He keeps throwing it. He's not panicking at all when he has a runner on base. Joe Demers is very comfortable with the runner on first base. He knows the defense will work for him.
Jordan Westberg, the freshman out of New Braunfels, Texas. He's the banana man and hits in the number 9 spot. Mangum, who was given advice to his teammates, is in the on-deck circle. In the hole, this is going to be a long throw and a strong throw. Good scoop over there, and he held the bag. Jonathan Schiffer on a difficult play by Levi Jordan.
Talk to this Washington coaching staff, and they talk about the middle of the infield, specifically Levi Jordan, who had to make the move to the shortstop position. This time goes backhand. There's not enough time to set the foot. So, you know, you can get plenty on it and still have confidence in your first baseman to one-hop it over there. Jonathan Schiffer goes and gets it as far as he can. Foot on the bag just long enough.
That's a lot of work also for Schiffer, and he's pumped up because that's not his natural position. A freshman signed on as a third baseman. They've worked extra with him at first. So far, it's paid off.
Be really careful with Mangum here first pitch.
Yep.
Because for a leadoff hitter, he's not afraid to go after that first pitch. First real chance for State to score a run here with a guy standing on second base and the guy coming to the plate that you want there.
33 RBI on the season. Mangum singled his first time up. I think the quick meeting between Kale and Demers was to remind him pitch carefully here. Mangum the junior, 6'1".
Up on the box also. Try to take away a little bit of that sink. Get the pitch to elevate also. Good adjustment.
To third, fielded cleanly by McIver, who throws him out. The infield has been rock solid for both teams. No double plays that inning, but a web gem play by the shortstop and first baseman, Jordan and Schiffer. Back Bulldogs in the house. We went next level tailgating earlier. You saw some A&M fans there as well. And a reminder, Sunday, Texas and Arkansas kick things off at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Texas Tech and Florida, the #1 overall seed, will be in action. Half the top 8 national seeds are in Omaha: Florida, Oregon State, Arkansas, and Carolina. 2 o'clock Eastern time on Father's Day. Feature with Roger Clemens, his son Cody Clemens. You'll be able to hear that. Laura had a chance to talk with the Rocket earlier today about what this means. He, of course, pitched here, won a clinching game back 1983 for the Longhorns.
Yeah, it's got to be cool for Rocket, who's, I mean, watched his son turn into one of the best players in the entire country this year. Cody Clemens still learning the second base position with 24 home runs, the second most that anybody's ever hit in a single season at Texas. Big 12 player of the year against an Arkansas club that may have the best offense in this tournament.
Who we got on the bump for Arkansas tomorrow?
Should be Blaine Knight.
Right. Pretty special. That one is going to be a foul ball as Joe Wainhouse steps in for the second time. Grounded out to third base his first time up. They got the shift on again.
Shift on the infield, but the outfield actually playing him the opposite way. And we were talking about this swing path last time a little bit, Eddie, and it really is one to where he is not afraid to stay inside the baseball and take it the other way. And that's why you see the outfield playing him a little bit the opposite way, the infield playing to the pull side. I still think, especially, I always, when bigger guys came to the plate, especially at this age, I wanted to crowd them. I wanted to crowd them with velocity as much as I possibly could because they're trying to get those arms extended, and it's not easy because his arms aren't short.
You know what, though? If you're on the mound and you don't know how to pitch inside,
well, that's true.
I don't recommend it. You got to pitch to your strength.
No, it's true. I mean, it has to fit the skill set, and that's the one thing with Ethan Small, that he's shown the ability, for whatever reason, to control the fastball a little bit more away, whether it's righties or lefties, than to have the confidence to consistently throw it in.
1-2 from Umcam. He fouls that one straight back. Lindsey Meggs has been around baseball for a long time, and we asked him if he's ever had a player who is physically this big, and he said, well, I've had some pitchers, but never somebody that walked to the plate and the earth shook when he walked to the plate. And for somebody who's like 5'7" like I am, Wainhouse is uncomfortably large. Swings and misses at that. Again, his dad, 7 years in the major leagues, mostly as a reliever, Dave Wainhouse. Kent Washington, and again, he came as a pitcher and had a little arm issue, so they said, you know what, we're going to go with the bat, and he's become quite a hitter. He can throw a couple of Maple Leafs up there too. He's half Canadian. The better half.
Adnan's going nuts right now.
Adnan Verk always flies the Canadian flag. And looking forward to hosting the Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown show tomorrow. Levi Jordan off speed pitch bounces.
There you go.
It's about 100 degrees during the day today, but it is an ideal night for baseball here in Omaha, Nebraska. Wind continues to blow from right to left and in, but there is not a seat in the house available. We've been playing here since 2011. A little humid, no doubt about it, but a great night for baseball, and there are youth leagues and tournaments going on all across Omaha, not just the College World Series.
Todd Walker in town to do SEC Now after the ball games. His son's in town playing in the tournament. They've got their high school team up here. Every year there's somewhere between 400 and 500 youth league teams from all around the country. They come in and play 2 separate weekends. My son's playing in one next week.
We should televise that.
Bad idea.
Teddy on.
Change up right there from Ethan Small. It's a little bit different grip. Vulcan change, Eddie.
It's got the Vulcan
change. See that all the time. Throws it really with his middle finger and his ring finger. When he throws it right, it has a good down action to it.
2-2.
2 in a row.
Foul. We got to see what a Vulcan change looks like.
It's not easy to do now. I mean, you got to have strong hands, big hands to be able to do it. Like the old Star Trek days, it's in between the middle finger and the ring finger. Kind of acts like a split when he gets through it, too. It has that good down action. That one hung up a little bit, but the pitch before had good sink to it right at the end. The velocity difference about 10 off of his fastball.
Speed him up with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
You see right there, he goes away to the right-handed hitter instead of going in. Does not like to pitch in too much on the right. As you're a right-handed hitter right now, I just cut the field in half. I think other way. Think drive the ball on a line. Try to hit the second baseman.
Ouch. Right off the mask of Skelton. You can hear the home plate umpire said, I'll head out to the mound. Give me the Vulcan grip.
You ever try to do this? I mean, it's honestly, it's not easy, like, just to do it. I mean, we were showing it before. He holds it like this and kind of throws it like a split. The other thing he does with this breaking ball, and I did this when I got to college because I couldn't make it spin,
right,
is he spikes it. So takes it like this. It gives you a little bit more leverage that comes off of this index finger. And then, I mean, Small's used it a bunch now, but you can also use that one to kind of push off of the seams as it goes all the way through, because that's been the one he's used more today. See if you can do it.
Right here, this one?
Because your hands are massive.
I couldn't Vulcan a ping pong ball.
No, he hit Rap. I want to see you do it. Come on.
Look out. Right back off of Small, and he throws him out. It doesn't work. Doesn't work.
No, that pitch isn't built for you. Here was the breaking ball, though, and it's smoked right back up the middle.
Ooh.
Little kick save and a beauty.
It sure was.
Yeah, but that one got him.
Again, right in the calf.
Right on the calf.
Yep. And that'll hurt. And the problem with the pain, usually when you get a shot like that off the calf,
you don't feel it right now.
Not right away.
You feel it right after you make the throw. And Small immediately went down after that. Training staff out from Mississippi State. Gary Henderson on his way out as well.
Almost like a cramp, right? I mean, when you get hit, it's almost like a cramp.
The first college game I ever pitched in, we were playing at Fullerton. Mark Kotze hit me with a line drive right here, right in the middle of my leg, that it honestly, at the end of the year, I could still point to the spot and find it. I mean, it was a first college game. I remember thinking, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, first guy I ever face ends up being a big leaguer for 15 years. It's a missile right back off my leg. And I'm like, I mean, we're not playing Omaha Central anymore.
That's
like,
when you learned how to pitch inside, right?
You had to. You had to.
Kyle, of course, pitched at Stanford. And that first pitch, to make sure that leg is okay, looked good from Ethan Small. All sorts of activity in and around the ballpark.
Smoker works.
Yeah, what do we got there? Ribs?
I don't know.
Something you'd like, though. Whatever it is.
That's a lot of smoke,
There's
though.
smoke coming out of it. It's grilling something.
That's a lot of smoke, though.
Bacon.
Tell you what.
Smoked bacon.
It's not Mary's Grill in Arkansas, I'll tell you that.
Hey, now they got some food down there.
Yes, they do.
Eddie went out. Eddie was with the people when we were down there.
I've heard all about Eddie and
Grill number 5.
Arkansas.
Grill number 5.
They'll be out there tomorrow.
Yes, of course they will.
You know where I'm going early.
Eddie
right?
will be there as well. Live shot, Eddie, grill number 5. behind the left field wall.
Tell you the other place, you got to get down to Starkville. Everett Kenner drives a bus from Mississippi State. Drove it all the way up from Starkville, takes it wherever they go. And it's as good a ribs as I've ever had.
Really?
Bring him up to the booth. I don't think he's doing it here, but Everett's an American treasure, man.
You've had ribs before?
Yeah, in Starkville. In the middle of the fourth inning. I went silent for about 15 minutes, and I was fine with it.
Producer decision. You get Kyle some ribs up there, will you please?
I didn't ask.
Top four, 0-0, 1-2 on the way to Levi Jordan. A breaking ball. He waited on it. He sends it into the seats. Look forward to talking with Lindsey Meggs. That's coming up. I love baseball lifers. You actually have two of them, one in each dugout. And these guys go back to some California days as coaches that have made their way up through the ranks. Raffanino, and that one is ripped into center field. Is going to hold up, and it will for the center fielder, Jake Mangum. Inning over. Lindsey Meggs will join us as we continue in a 0-0 game, 3.5 in the books.
Head coach Lindsey Meggs joining us here. And coach, you've gotten some runners on, you've threatened, but what are you seeing out of Ethan Small that you think you could maybe adjust to?
He's doing a nice job of mixing when we have runners in scoring position, and he's kept us from jumping on that fastball the way we'd like to. Throws just enough breaking balls to keep us honest.
Joe Demers obviously has to induce the ground balls, but what about your defense and their play so far in this game?
No, our defense loves to play behind Joe because of that tempo you see and the fact that he throws strikes and gives us a lot of ground balls.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Love to play behind a guy that through 3 innings has thrown 22 pitches, 19 of them strikes, and he has gotten 9 ground ball outs. So everybody's on their toes on the infield. And 3 hits apiece. No runs, no errors. Clean game so far.
You gotta love one thing about Demers. He knows who he is. No walks, no strikeouts. He pitches to contact.
I thought it was interesting. We were talking to Lindsey Meggs earlier today just about, okay, when he's going right, what do you see? And when he's not, what do you see? Jason Kelly's a pitcher coach at his ball club. He said, you know what, velocity is one of the things you can watch, because if he's up 92, 93, which he can do, but if he's 92, 93, the ball's going to straighten out, it's going to come up in the zone, and that's where he gets hurt. If he's this, 86 to 89, the ball has better sink. He's way in control of everything that's going on, and it doesn't minimize the off-speed stuff. The off-speed stuff is still plenty. Reality is we haven't seen much of the off-speed stuff tonight. He hasn't needed it. You go 22 pitches through 3 innings and roll 2 double play balls, it's working okay.
Well, what happened when he did throw that changeup to Mangum? It was a base hit. Pulled it, drove it to right field. After that, he's gone more to the 2-seamer, and he's had to because he knows that's what gets the ground balls. 3 balls, 21 strikeouts. Pretty impressive.
.88-mile-an-hour fastball. Looks like everybody could hit it, and he strikes him out.
I mean, that's just the dark ball there. I mean, that's 0-2, 88 right down the can. That's got a little bit of movement to it, and Rowdy Jordan just swung right on through it.
That's Jake Gautreau, who came over here really at the request of Andy Cannizaro, who again resigned after about 3 games this season. Gautreau is sort of the, as you can see there, like the hitting whisperer. He's the guy that is, in a sense, turned this entire offense around. They generally have a 2-strike approach, but if you're Gautreau and you've been a major league hitting coach, what are some of the messages you would give against a guy like Demers?
Well, what I do like is the one thing Gautreau did do since the beginning of the season was he allowed them to be them and let them fail first. They were 14 and 15 when he said, okay, boys, let's get an approach. We have 0 approach.
Allen right field and taking a step in and now going back, and the wind held that up for Christian Jones.
And once that approach was established, it could be the 2-strike approach. It could be right now against Demers. What do? They've moved up on the box. They're making the adjustment little by little. That strikeout, he actually swung under the pitch.
Right.
You rarely see a two-seam fastball guy strike out a guy with the pitch going over the barrel.
And there are some of those numbers, Eddie, where you see they went north. They got a lot better. An average that went up 40 points, a runs per game that went up 3.5.
So far, they're all listening. We showed earlier where Jake Mangum was up on the plate. Same thing can be said right now with Hunter Stovall. Does the same thing. He's moved up. First at bat, he was deep in the box.
DeVeers continues, though, to pound that strike zone and quickly ahead 0-2. He's feeling really good on the mound. He got 31 pitches darting down in that strike zone, and we got 2 outs in the 4th.
I tell you, the other thing is you're letting him work fast because I mean that's what he wants. He wants to get it and go, get it, go. I mean the efficiency is not just in the pitch count for Demers. It's efficient in between pitches too. He does not waste any time.
Back up the middle and a seeing eye single. Good hit for Hunter Stovall, and he is aboard. 4th hit of the game for Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's the second hit for Stovall. Both hits up the middle. Luke Alexander has the other hit from the right side. He also went the other way. That's what you have to do. You cannot try to pull Mr. Demers. If you do, you're going to be in trouble.
And Kyle, Gautreaux has the respect of all the hitters, doesn't he? He's a well-respected voice throughout college baseball.
He is. I mean, an assistant at Tulane, left that, went to work for the Boers Corporation for 3 years, got into the agency business, and then came back to coaching because of Andy Canizero and the opportunity at Mississippi State. He is incredibly well thought of in this profession.
First round pick of the Padres. He played on the USA Baseball national team back in 2000. You got a fascinating story and a sad story dealing with stress, and ultimately what he attributed that to what became ulcerative colitis, and ultimately caused him to stop playing baseball. Two down, jam shot, but a blooper that goes in between everybody, and going to third base is Stovall. So Mississippi State now has got a runner 90 feet away from home. Elijah McNamee got jammed, but he's so hot right now and ended up in a hit.
Now they're allowing the ball to get deep. This is a mistake pitch. Stays up in the zone. Something that Demers did not want to do, but again, up in the box. They're starting to elevate. We saw the fly ball to right field, the base hit up the middle, and now this one right here.
That'll bring up Justin Foscue, the third baseman, grounded out to third base, his first time up. Foscue has driven in 20 this season, and the freshman in a big spot at the College World Series.
You have to be aware of Mississippi State with runners at first and third, especially if it goes into an 0-2 situation or even an 0-1 situation, the way Demers throws strikes. Try to steal a run.
That's a valid statistic. 34 of the last 37. Champion started 1-0. 34 of the last 37. And now behind 0-1 is Foscue out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Huskies changing their signs right now with runners at first and third. Seeing if the throw is going to go through, if they'll hold it, or if they go to third with it.
A lot of different personalities, Gary Henderson said, on this team, and this is a quiet, reserved, confident in the box guy who has come through time and time again. They go over to first and take a look at McNamee. Raffanino shaded way up the middle. Big hole between second and first. Ground ball to Demers. And he throws him out. They'll strand at 2. We'll talk more about Demers growing up with McIver and a few others, including one who is here at the College World Series.
We were 8 years old on our first Little League team together. He was too big to fit into our jersey, so we put him in my dad's t-shirt as an 8-year-old. Me and Willie were actually on the same team that year. We just clicked and became best friends ever since, all growing up. We've just gone through everything together, hanging out after school. It was like anyone's best friend. It was just a long joke, and we've just been fortunate enough to play baseball with each other throughout that entire time.
The boys have all grown up, and now they are here enjoying their first ever trip to the College World Series. Washington and Mississippi State 0-0, only 8 hits allowed. Both Demers and Small have been terrific on the mound. First pitch swinging, McIver. Demers' buddy growing up. Who's going to catch it? Second baseman ends up with it in his glove. He had a little help there from a right fielder, McNamee, who came in, but Stovall ends up recording the out.
Just let Stovall have that.
Yeah.
I mean, Stovall's camped underneath it. McNamee's clearly calling for it. If Stovall hears it, he's got to get out of the way. But still, if your second baseman's out there with those arms raised and he's got plenty of time to get there, at that point, it's a much easier play. He's not going anywhere. Your right fielder's still coming in full speed.
Christian Jones followed by Jonathan Schiffer, 8-9. Who's going to break through? Both teams have had opportunities. A lot of traffic on the bases for Washington, but Small has not allowed a run to come in.
Yeah!
Jones has oftentimes been replaced late in the game by Kaiser Weiss for defense. Weiss came up with a big hit during the Supers. But they do like Jones' bat early, especially in a 0-0 game, to get on or perhaps hit one over the wall.
Well, that was a good pitch right there to be able to drive, hanging breaking ball. Took the first one really good, too. All of a sudden, 1-1 pitch, sees a hanger. Just missing it. Last time struck out on a fastball in the upper quadrant. Let's see if he elevates now.
Chases, and they'll throw down to first for the out. For more coverage of the College World Series and interactive brackets, go to NCAA.com. We're down to our final 8. Think about it too. Mississippi State, they lost their regional opener 20-10. They gave up 20 runs to Oklahoma.
Down 2-0 with 2 outs, 2 strikes in the 9th inning to Florida State.
Why is it every time you say that you look at me?
Eddie,
why is that?
Eddie,
you don't even realize you do it.
I like you.
Oh,
that's
okay.
why. I mean, just I want to make sure that you know all the steps that it took for them to get here. That's all.
I think it's a backwards compliment, because if you get through Florida State, that's a tough test.
Absolutely, it is. It was a top 8 national seed. Small's been pretty good so far. So's that guy since getting the interim tag put right on him. Gary Henderson, a National Coach of the Year. Joe and Laura, we come back. Still scoreless in Omaha.
Watching the College World Series presented by Capital One. Mississippi State's Gary Henderson here with us. And Coach, obviously things like the 6-4-3 double play in the third help Ethan Small, but what has he done well tonight?
Well, for the most part, he's making pitches late in the strike zone, although that inning we got 2 early outs.
And then what can your offense do to get something going against Demers? He's keeping the ball down low.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of getting on both sides of the plate. We've hit 3 or 4 balls right on the nose, right at him. We need to continue to hit the ball hard and not hit it at him, Laura.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Laura. Demers 12 out so far, 10 of which have come via the ground ball. His season high for ground balls is 15, and that came in his last start in the Supers against Cal State Fullerton. So Demers is doing exactly what he did against Fullerton. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. Only 35 pitches. That's nuts.
He's that type of guy that after you roll over, make an out, you go back to the bench and you're like, how am I 0 for 3 against the guy that throws 88 miles per hour and the pitch is right there?
I always used to love it when guys would come back and this guy's got nothing. This guy's got nothing. And then you look at the board and we got nothing. There's nothing there.
There's a whole lot of nothing in this game.
Something.
All the time.
Yeah. You know, it's a funky look, too. I mean, when he comes to home plate, he lands way open, and you don't see a lot of guys land way open. There's a lot more guys now that land close. So the front foot will land close as they're coming to home plate. Watch where it ends up. The hips kind of fly open a little bit. It gives him the ability to sink the baseball a little bit. Theoretically, it should make it easier for a hitter to see it because he's opening his body up a little bit earlier. Works just fine, though.
Luke Alexander, Dustin Skelton, Jordan Westberg due up. That one's inside, and he's behind 2-0.
Got to give credit to the Mississippi State players right now. They're making that adjustment. They've all moved up on the box. Now the question is, can you execute?
That's a good one. Right at the knees, a little two-seamer that worked back over the outside part of the plate to go 2-1. A rare 2-ball count, only the second time that he has gotten 2 balls, and that's a little intimidating. You get a huge picture of yourself out there on the wall.
His own bullpen. I mean, that doesn't happen very much. Go out and warm up. You just peek over and look at yourself.
There I am.
Hey, look, I know that guy.
That's a boost of confidence right there, right?
Yeah.
3-1 on the way to Alexander. Fouls one off the mask of the home plate umpire.
Guys, we saw the huge Joe Demers in the bullpen right there. He actually said he was going to go take a selfie with himself, but the problem was the angles. He couldn't get a good angle to get his face in it. He wasn't tall enough.
That's elevated out there. I can see that. Maybe get on the shoulders of Wainhouse.
Be too high.
Maybe too high. This is going to be a tough play. You can see that ball is going to hop before Jordan could get to it. And on board is Luke Alexander.
Yeah, and Jordan actually did the right thing. Ball hits dirt, you charge. That's exactly what happened. Right in front of the plate, it hits it. He comes in hard and just wasn't able to pick it on that bounce. He lets that ball bounce one more time, tries to get the big hop. I don't think he gets him at first.
That should be ruled a hit. But off the bat, you could see that was going to be a challenging play for a very good shortstop in Jordan. Here's Skelton, who sacked his first time up, may do the same thing again, try to get that runner in a scoring position.
Another leadoff hitter.
This should be a perfect guy to hit and run off of, because he's going to throw you a million strikes. Skelton sack bunted last time. Did his job, pushed Alexander to second, but he was stranded there after 2 ground ball outs to follow. See if Gary Henderson, really in this case Jake Gautreau, runs this offense, tries to put maybe a hit and run at some point.
Here's Gautreau and Henderson. 4 times in 5 innings they've had the leadoff batter on.
And after all the double plays that they've hit into, Cal, you're right. Doesn't matter if it's even 0-1 count. Listen, Demers keep attacking that strike zone. Good time for a hit and run.
Washington is the 117th team to play at the College World Series, and 7 of those 117 have thrown a shutout in their debut. Demers, given his pitch count, is certainly capable of going the distance, and the question that we have now is which team strikes first. Slow roller, no call made by the home plate official, and now the umpire says fair ball, out at first base, runner to second. I didn't see Frank Sylvester come out and make a call.
This is a home plate umpire's call right here, and he makes the call.
Does. Yep.
Fair ball. Good communication between both umpires.
Good decision too by McIver too, because watch, when he looks to second base, his momentum's taking him to what's going to be a really tough throw. Ultimately it's going to be closer. Alexander's going to beat it anyway. Still plenty of time to make the throw across the dime.
Number 9 hitter Jordan Westberg, and Mangum now got a chance, because an unlikely double play situation with a runner at second, to come up again with a runner in scoring position.
Ball's inside.
Backdoor breaking ball that wasn't close to the location he wanted it.
Is that the first one he throws?
I was going to say he's had to have thrown 85–90% fastballs tonight, and that may be low.
Yeah.
It's been, I mean, he's not tricking anybody. It's just, we're going 2-seam fastball. We're going to work the bottom part of the zone, and I'm going to dare you to get the thing elevated.
Westberg has been dealing with some hamstring issues of his own, but Perhaps that first pitch breaking ball was because Westberg is a terrific fastball hitter.
Well, you can be as good a fastball as you want, but right now that action on that two-seam fastball could work in Demers' advantage. 2-0. If he tries to pull, he'll end up rolling over again.
Yeah. At the knees, called strike one. Since April 1st, the Bulldogs have gone 23-12. And now in a hole 3-1 is Joe Demers. Oof. How about the movement on that pitch?
That's when you know you're pretty comfortable with your two-seamer right there. Is you throw it right down the middle and let the sink take over, and that's exactly the thought that Demers has right now. Opponent's batting average down about 100 points from what it was the first 2 years, and it's because he's learned to do that consistently and trust that consistently, just that natural movement on the fastball.
3-2. On the ground is short. No advancement by the runner, and the out is recorded as Jordan throws over to first for the second out.
The College World Series Finals begin Monday, June 25th at 7 on ESPN.
Back to the top of the order, Jake Mangum. Carl, I'm having some flashbacks to like 2011, 2012. I mean, the outfielders are playing so shallow given the heavy winds blowing in. And I know teams then, you get a single, there's no guarantee you're scoring where these outfielders are playing.
I think it's twofold. Yes, the wind clearly plays into it, but I also think it's the guys that are coming to the plate. Mangum now is not a guy that you're afraid to hit it over. When we were seeing this earlier, it was Cirillo and Braden Ward at the top of the Washington lineup. Hey, Trevor Larnach just about ran one out to dead center today.
Yes, he did.
For Oregon State. And the wind maybe helped him. Oh, there's a lot of powerful in that swing. So it can still be done, but you know, if you're not a natural power guy, it's going to knock it down even more so tonight. I agree with this. If I'm Washington, I don't want this guy to beat me right now, and you have no worries about the guy on the mound throwing strikes.
And unlike Major League Baseball,
I don't like this.
You do throw the pitches. Go ahead.
Look, you're in the 5th inning right now.
Yep.
You're rolling over the lineup again.
Yep.
You want to keep this guy, yes, off the plate, but you're guaranteeing him not one, possibly 2 more ABs by rolling it over. He really has not had 2 strong at-bats. The first time he got a hit, it was because he went with an 0-2 changeup that was up. He has not really pitched badly with his fastball with his two-seamer. Got a ground ball to the third baseman last time. He has...
Hit the ball hard, though. I mean, it was
I get it, but I have to trust that guy on the mound. He's got so much control around the plate. Pitch him out of the zone. If he walks, so be it. But giving him a free pass like that, I'm not into free passes, especially in the 5th inning.
We can agree to disagree.
I
think that's the beauty of this.
I agree. I agree with that.
I don't want that guy beating me. And your point is well taken, to where the guy on the mound you can trust enough to do the unintentional, intentional walk if you want him to, and maybe Mangum chases. But in this case, I got no issue putting him on first base.
Rowdy Jordan bats now with 2 on. The outfield still very shallow, and the first pitch is called strike 1. The big part about your point, Eddie, is now that we're in the 5th, to see how many opportunities Mangum, assuming they don't score here, will have the rest of the game to do more damage.
I guess my challenge is 1 may be enough tonight. I mean, it may be the night to where 1's enough. And if the 1 happens here, that might be enough to win this one.
0-1 back up the middle. Who's going to field it? Shortstop. Nice play.
That's impressive right there.
Levi Jordan nearly collided with A.J. Graffinino, but having 2 shortstops up the middle proved to be not a problem.
One of the big reasons they're here in the College World Series is because of what that man did in the Super Regionals. Going to his left, sometimes going to his right, coming in. This time he shows his skills, getting the last out.
Mississippi State starting pitcher Ethan Small back out on the mound in the 6th. A couple innings ago in the 4th, this happened where a comebacker up the middle got him in the calf, and he spent the entire last half inning, the majority of it, stretching out that calf constantly, trying to get it loosened back up. You guys had mentioned that you thought maybe a little time after that happened, it would start to tighten up on him. Something to watch for here.
Laura, thank you. We head to the 6th inning of a scoreless game. Opening game for these two teams. The College World Series opening round earlier today. Oregon State did not play a clean game. They lost to North Carolina 8-6, so they're 0-1. Carolina 1-0. Mason Cirillo chases a high fastball. 1 for 2 tonight. Grounded out to short. Singled in the 3rd inning. Both coaches told us earlier today, you can get me to the 6th, 7th inning, certainly for Mississippi State. Demirs they'd love to see go 8, if not 9. But that was the wish list, and so far the pitchers are living up to what their coaches wanted.
I guess so. I mean, especially in this environment. I think the thing that's impressed me the most, the zeros obviously are really impressive. It's the zeros in the walk call.
Yes.
I mean, the guys have. This is the environment that a lot of times can make you do things that you're not used to doing on the mound. You try to do a little bit too much. That hasn't happened in any case. Both have looked very comfortable.
9th time since the College World Series moved here to TD Ameritrade, and 11 that a game's been scoreless through 5 innings. So it has not happened frequently, in spite of the park being so huge. Tend to get some runs in the foul ball at the plate.
Now it really comes down to which is the team that will be able to keep their focus. That first mistake could be costly.
Three and two. This Washington team, for their regionals, flew from Seattle to South Carolina, but on their flight they made a stop to refuel. And where do you think they stopped to refuel?
Right here
in Omaha.
Makes sense.
No doubt about it. Didn't get off the plane, spent 45 minutes here, but there had to be a method behind that madness. To left field, back goes Jordan, and he's there for the out. Reminder, Sunday night, Busch Stadium, Cubs and the Cardinals, National League showdown. Those two teams feel like they will be battling for the top spot in that division. Coverage at 7 with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. Cubs Cards at 8 Eastern Time on ESPN. I saw that Paul DeJong took some swings today, Eddie.
That's a good sign.
Love to get him back at shortstop. Cubs and Cardinals Sunday night, baseball 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown at 7. One down, high breaking ball about over the head of Braden Ward, who's just desperate to get on base. Got hit by a pitch, but he had some traffic in front of him, so he couldn't use that great speed in the 3rd inning. A little late on an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Huskies were 7-8 their first month. They went 20-10 in the Pac-12. They went into that Fullerton Regional 0-8 all-time against him and ended up winning the Supers. That one almost got him on the calf. Diving stop, but no throw by Hunter Stovall. Boy, they are taking target practice at Ethan Small.
It looks like they're calf hunting, huh? right back at it. Watch the reaction. First time I was a little too slow. Not this time. Get out of the way.
Wickets. Stovall, good decision right there, too, to go backhand. With that base runner, Braden Ward, you are not going to throw him out at first base. The only thing that happens with that throw is potentially bad stuff. Gets by, Ward standing at second. Got a feeling he may be standing at second anyway here in a minute, because I don't think he's going to stay there very long.
Good communication there. You see Luke Alexander, too, was basically yelling at Stovall. Yes. Just hold it, hold it, hold it. Pretty impressive. 41% of the time that he gets on, he comes around and scores. The major league average, just by comparison for context, is 33%. This is where the stop clock comes into play. A lot of guys you'll see with a stop clock, and they'll give you that 1-3 to the plate, 1-5 to the plate.
And as a freshman right now, not too experienced against left-handed pitching. Those moves are the ones that really get you. One thing that he has to do against the left-handed pitcher is actually, instead of focusing on the right leg, focus on the left toe. On the front part of the toe, you see it right on the rubber. Usually, if that toe lifts, comes up, he'll go to first base. If it stays down, he goes home. One of the big keys to look off against left-handed pitching. Everybody always tries to focus on the right leg. Don't focus on the right. Focus on that left toe and trust what you see.
Well, here's the thing for Ward, too. If he's stealing here, he's going to go on first move. So even if there's a pick with that speed, he puts his head down and keeps going. It's going to take two pretty good throws to throw him out.
Right. And then you worry about a ball getting into the outfield and him going to third base and being there with one out if that happens. 18 stolen bases, led the Pac-12 this season. And you can just see the effect it's having on the pitcher, Ethan Small. Nick Cale grounded into a double play in the third inning. The outfield respecting the power of Cale. They are playing very deep. 6 home runs on the season. Runner goes. Throw down to second. It's wide, and Braden has stolen his 19th base of the season.
Looks like he went out first move right there. 1-3-5 to the plate. Picks up and goes, and now it's just a race to see if he can get there with a good throw, and he does easily. Put it in perspective, Washington is 19-5 this season when Ward scores a run. 16-19 when he doesn't.
You got to be aware of him again. You got a 1-1 count on Nick Cale, sophomore out of Simi Valley, California. 1-2. The thing you have to be careful of too, Eddie, as a hitter in a 0-0 game in the 6th inning, when you get a runner at second, your eyes get a little big, don't they? You want to be the guy that knocks the run in. It's like the 0-0 game when you come up and you're trying to hit the home run in the 8th or 9th inning instead of trying to manufacture the run.
All it takes is a base hit right now. Into any position, that guy at second base will score easily.
Good spoil. This is a tough guy to strike out, Nick Cale. Take a look at his walks and his strikeout numbers. It's rare that a guy like that becomes such a challenge when it comes to striking out. We're so used to seeing hitters, especially 3 and 4 hitters, strike out all the time. They've been very impressed as of late with Cale's ability at the plate not to do that. He's certainly in a tough spot behind 1 and 2. Ooh. Nearly got the bull.
That's actually a very small lead at second base for Ward. Yeah. Very conservative for the speed he has. Even the secondary is very conservative. Would love to see him a little bit more aggressive with that speed. He already creates chaos because they already know the elite speed that he has.
Cale twice has hit it to the shortstop. Luke Alexander fouls another one off.
Let me tell you the importance also of getting Ward to third base with Wainhouse on deck. The pitch that they've been able to get Wainhouse on is the curveball, especially in the dirt. It would apply a lot of pressure on Skelton behind the plate to block that pitch when you have that type of speed at third.
Those that just saw Joe Wainhouse for the first time and said, wow, that guy's huge. That is in fact true. 6'6", 255. He's huge. He's on deck. 2-2 coming to Nick Cale. Continues to foul off good pitches.
That was a good swing there. I don't think I'd go back to that one because he was just a tick late on it, but the approach was trying to drive that ball to right center field.
When you were on the mound, did you think that way?
Yes.
When you threw a pitch, you're like, I'm not going to do that again.
Yes. I mean, it was either if a ball was fouled straight back or if you felt like a guy was really on it, you want to show him something different. If you're going to go back to it at some point, that's fine, but I wouldn't double up on it. Go to something else first, move an eye level, move his feet a little bit, and then go back to it later on if you want.
Did you learn that early on? Like was it your sophomore, junior year, or was it professionally?
Well, no, it was in college. I know that. It was definitely in college. And honestly, I learned as much sitting doing the pitching chart the day before I was going to pitch than I did at any other time, because you're sitting next to the pitching coach. You're hearing all of what they're calling during the course of the game, and then immediately what their reaction is when they see a swing. So you kind of see it through a coach's eyes at the same time, and then you can go put it into motion when you're actually on the mound. But you can tell comfortable swings. Even if it's not a hit, you know when a guy's comfortable at the plate. I don't want him to be comfortable.
Right center field, fairly deep. McNamee going back. He's there. Ward tags. The ball was deflected off of the cutoff man's glove, but Ward goes to third base.
Well, they repeated the pitch and he barreled it.
Yeah.
It's fortunate that the defender that was in the first game is still here in the second, and that's the wind.
Yeah, that one held it up for McNamee because no wind. That ball's got a real chance to get over his head. I mean, that was the approach. The swing approach from Cale right there. If he saw a breaking ball was to drive it the other way, he did, but that wind just ate it up. McNamee was there in plenty of time. McNamee's got a real arm in right field now. I mean, Alexander tried to cut that ball off, and you're probably not going to throw Braden Ward out at third base, but there are arms all over the outfield for State.
Well, perhaps, Eddie, they're thinking along with you, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change as Henderson comes to the mound. Wainhouse, the lefty who was struck out his last time up, goes back to talk to Lindsey Meggs. J.P. France is warm in the bullpen.
I'd be surprised if he makes a change now.
Same here.
J.P. France is able if you need him, but I don't think this is exactly the matchup that you want J.P. France to come in. You don't want a low three-quarter arm action right-hander to come in and face Wainhouse in this spot, and really he's handled Wainhouse pretty well today.
And Gary Henderson is the pitching coach also.
Exactly.
No change. Ethan Small, who's been able to minimize any damage, and they've had runners on tonight. Double plays have been a big story of this game, both teams. But the fastest runner perhaps in college baseball is at third base, and big Joe Wainhouse, the designated hitter, the senior, 6'6", 255-pounder, is at the plate.
And just like Jake Mangum for Mississippi State is the guy that you don't want to beat, this is the guy that Mississippi State most likely had a lot of meetings about. Don't let this guy beat you.
Team high 59 RBI this year in the first pitch, ball one.
I would love to see a better secondary at third base. Any ball in the dirt that gets away from Skelton, you have to be aggressive. Ward has very good speed, but he needs to expand on it.
It's interesting. We were talking to Lindsey Meggs earlier today about Ward. That's the one thing he said is the speed is absolutely there, but he's still learning how to be a really good base runner.
Strike one.
That's that fastball up in the zone.
A couple times tonight, Wainhouse has asked the home plate umpire, is that a strike? Would that be a strike? Good numbers against lefties. You saw that batting average, 330. And a good spot now for Ethan Small, ahead 1-2.
During the Super Regionals, Joe Wainhouse had more of a leg kick going on when he started the load. Now, zero leg kick on that last pitch. Got the foot on the ground.
Hunter Stovall is about 15 feet into the outfield at second base. Gets him to chase the high cheese, and Ethan Small, after that meeting on the mound, comes up big. Tanner Allen, Hunter Stovall, Elijah McNamee due up. That's 3-4-5. You ain't killing me, Small. Good job for the Bulldog ace as we are 0-0 through 5.5. Little Chris Sale look-alike coming off the mound, the lefty with a beard, a long, lanky guy. First pitch swinging, and the ball is elevated to the shortstop. And Tanner Allen is retired.
Did you say elevated?
Yeah, that was one that actually got in the air. How about Demers? We're in the 6th inning. He's thrown 56 pitches.
So that was just a BP fastball. That's just grab the two-seam fastball, take a little bit off of it. It's 4 or 5 miles an hour off his best bowl earlier tonight, and it was enough to get Tanner Allen in front of it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now 1 out in the 6th inning, 56 total pitches for the game.
Yeah. Pours another one in there.
I can just listen right now in the dugout. You're telling me, hey, let's take pitches, let's raise his pitch count. He keeps throwing strikes.
That. Yeah.
You're always 0-1.
Tends to change the eye level. That one up, previous pitch down. Both were balls. This is not a big strikeout staff by any stretch of the imagination. In the country ranked 230th. They get about 7 per 9 innings. And when you think about, and it is true even in college baseball, strikeouts are up.
Oh yeah,
big time. Home runs, in fact, this season in college baseball were down. In the postseason, they've been up about 19%. But they were down about 5% across the board. You have a lot of power here in Omaha this year. You got a lot of home run hitting teams. Jam shot. Demers is going to pick up another ground ball out. Kaiser Weiss has gone into play right field. We told you that is a substitution that Lindsey Meggs often makes. He'll bat 8th. As Christian Jones has been replaced. And there are 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Now we're into the baseball game, obviously, and the sort of aura of being at the World Series. Yet there was huge significance in winning that first game. When do you start thinking about how important that is? On the ground, smothered over there in short. How good has Levi Jordan been tonight?
Indeed, though he's starting to make me speak Spanish too.
1 out recorded by the Washington defense in the outfield. 1. Ethan Small has matched him 0 for 0. We head to the 7th inning, and the shortstop, who's been crazy good in the field, Levi Jordan, leads things off.
Doesn't it always happen that way? Make a great play and you're leading off.
1 out of 9 times it does.
Not taking the bait. Not going to take the bait. A lot of talk about baseball movies, so let's divert a little bit here. Give me the order on the You're Killing Me, Small, when we're building the s'more. What's the order of the s'more?
As said by Smalls?
Yeah, what do we do first?
I don't know.
On the ground, a second. You take the gram. Take the gram.
All right.
Is this rhetorical? I hope.
No, this is legitimate.
You're going to go.
There's a lot of talk about baseball movies. I keep seeing different websites with baseball movies. So take the gram.
You get the Hershey's,
what do you do next?
The chocolate.
You take the chocolate.
Then you get the.
What do you do with the mallow? What do you do with it?
You got to melt it.
You got to roast the mallow.
Roast it.
Right.
Which melts it.
Yeah, you roast the mallow, right? And then what do you do?
Squish it all
when
together.
It's flaming, you stick it on
right
the other end. I just wanted to see if you knew what the order was according to the movie with Smalls on the mound.
I just want to make sure you knew.
No, yeah, I don't think you did. I didn't get the sense that you're like, okay, what do you mean?
You passed.
I had no clue.
You've seen the movie, Sandlot. You've seen the movie 100 times.
Not 100.
You've seen it, though, haven't you?
I have seen it. Okay. I'm the type of guy that sees the movie once and that's it.
You got it, then. You don't need to see it.
It's the gram, it's the chocolate, it's the mallow. And then what do you do with it? You scarf.
You scarf.
You scarf.
Ball.
If you haven't seen Sandlot in a while, see it again.
All right.
You have some time during the day, early game, although tomorrow you're doing the early game, but just check out Sandlot.
I'll check it out.
Ball. 2-1.
Guys, Washington, I don't think had s'mores before the game, but they did all chug Red Bull. It's something that they started as a pregame ritual May 17th against Utah. They had a Utah series where every game started at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and they were like, we got to do something to wake up. They ended up sweeping Utah, and they felt like it started a nice stretch for them.
Now, given a choice of pounding Red Bulls or s'more, I'm going to go s'more.
Can't shoot both.
You pick
one. I'm going s'more. I'm going s'more.
I'm going to enjoy both.
Bacon chaser?
Oh, always.
What is it with you and bacon?
Always.
I've seen your Twitter handle.
Me and bacon. It's because bacon's awesome.
That's his first line of his Twitter
handle. It goes
handle.
with anything, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. And like Red Bull. It's the same thing.
Guys, Willie McIver at the plate, he actually said the problem with the Red Bull is the carbonation when you chug it. He said it makes for an interesting after effect in the dugout for a while.
Really? Can you dive a little deeper? What does that mean?
I'm out.
Bad connection.
Laura's mic not working.
Wow.
Now over 100 pitches, Ethan Small. And ahead 0-1 to McIver, and one bounced. Got good lines there, grabbing some grub so they can scarf. On an idyllic night in Omaha, Nebraska for a baseball game, about 87 degrees. The wind has been blowing in all day, 20 miles an hour during the day, about 10 or 11 miles per hour right now, and it gets the benefit of a call on the outside corner or close to it.
You're going to see this ballpark play a little bit different next week too, because the temperature goes down about 15-20 degrees. Some days even more. A couple days where the highs may be in the 70s, and instead of that flag blowing in from right, could be blowing out to right.
Ball's outside.
Oof. Dustin Skelton didn't help him there as catcher.
Yeah, he came up.
He came up and he reached. If that body moves with the pitch, you got a lot better chance to steal a strike right there. Watch how he does this. Body comes up a little bit. As it comes up, he doesn't really move with the pitch until that very last minute, because that one didn't miss by much. I think it was off the plate, but he didn't give him much of a chance.
McIver twice has put it in the air. Shortstop, second base, now right field. And he is 0 for 3. Ethan Small getting it done. Short sleeves, short pants, College World Series t-shirts. Hot item early here as we are underway in Omaha. Not the 7th inning stretch time, but we are grooving here in Omaha. Bananas are ripe, literally, and they are looking for Mississippi State to break through. The Huskies and their fans wondering who scores the first point as well. Even up in the booth, Eduardo starting to dance. I like what's happening right now.
I was flossing.
I like what's happening.
You floss, Kyle?
No chance. No.
Is that a dance thing, flossing?
Yeah.
Give me it. Let me see.
Sitting down?
Oh, so
I can
that's
do it sitting down?
I see. That's pulling floss through the teeth in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Hold on.
Come on. Get it going. Not sitting down.
I'm not going to do that.
Come on, let's
go.
go.
I have no interest in doing it. No.
Where's the sense of adventure?
Kyle. Kyle, before this College World Series is over,
I'll do what?
You're going to be flossing with me.
No,
yes.
I'm not going to
Let me
floss.
see. Give me
yes.
it. No. Let me see. What do you got?
You get up right here. You go. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hard.
Yeah.
With the sound effect?
Floss. Oh, I did do the sound effects, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
I have to. My daughter taught me.
Yes, you did. Well,
it took me like a year.
Yeah. Well, the good news is the body's a temple. I saw you early in the gym this morning, so you're.
I'm working on
you're in
something.
floss shape.
No, it's going to get better by the end of this.
Ooh, nasty breaking pitch, and Foscue is retired via the strikeout. Good breaking ball from Joe Demers.
We haven't seen too many of those, and it's really been because he hasn't needed to throw too many of those. What do you think, Eddie? He's thrown 4 or 5 of these over the course of the entire night. And that's, I mean, to me, the one thing with Demers is he's not a big strikeout guy, but when he gets into a 2-strike count, then he's going to try to finish you off. So he's just, in fact, he would prefer that he gets an out with the first 2 or 3 pitches of the at bat. But if he gets you to 2 strikes, that's when you'll see him try to make you expand the strike zone.
Luke Alexander has reached base twice with a couple of singles, so he's figured out the secret sauce here to get to Demers. He's got a third of the team's 6 hits. Driven deep to left. Cirillo goes back and he stops just shy of the track. 70-degree night. That one may leave the yard, but not tonight.
Watch the route. And I like the route. Watch him turn his back and run. Turn his back, turn the number, go to the spot, and then he's got plenty of time to get there. And the wind's going to knock that down a little bit, but still back there and plenty of time for Cirillo. What we got?
If he's going to throw the curveball, throw it out of the zone. Don't hang it like that. His money pitch is that 2-seam fastball. It's gotten him through the lineup already a couple times. Continue throwing that 2-seam fastball, pounding it on the ground.
Another one, and this will be the 4th 1-2-3 inning for Joe Demers. 69 pitches, and we have gone through 7. He threw 7 pitches to get through the 7th.
Well, Ethan Small's day is done, but it was a really good day for the left-hander. 5 strikeouts today. The breaking ball was working the entire time. Got Christian Jones swinging twice, Joe Wainhouse twice. Handled the best hitter, but did take one to the cap, and at that point went down, took a minute, but really didn't affect him over the balance of the game. If you're Mississippi State, you get 7 zeros out of Ethan Small. You'll take that every day. Not as many strikeouts you see sometimes, but the stuff was outstanding. Pitched into the 8th inning and did not allow a run.
So congratulations to Ethan Small. Hugs all around. And now that brings up J.P. France. He's on the mound, the righty, 5-5 this season, 24 appearances. Started a couple of games in 58 2/3 innings. He's given up 57 hits, so nearly a hit an inning, 31 runs, 64 strikeouts, 26 walks.
Fastball, slider, changeup will cut the fastball every once in a while. J.P. France has been one of a few different guys that Mississippi State's been really comfortable with at the back end of games as this season's got late.
And again, the significance of that 1-0 start here at the College World Series. 34 of the last 37 teams that walked away with the title won their first game. Kaiser Weiss, the freshman who went on as a defensive replacement, looks at a first pitch fastball down at 95 for ball 1. Very different. 69 pitches for Demers. Small threw over 100. And we get some velocity coming out of the arm of JP at 95 again.
With movement. You saw that cut, last minute cut. And I keep saying last minute when it should be last millisecond. So you don't have a lot of second to
2-1.
You don't have a lot of time to think about it.
How about this?
Sycamores at Oklahoma State back in 1986.
Back in the Rock and Robin days. Is he there then?
86.
Ventura? Might have been.
I want to say yes.
Incaviglia? Monty Ferris? Brad Beanblossom, maybe one of the best College World Series names ever.
How were they held scoreless through 7 at the Blatt?
That's a good question. Wind wasn't blowing like this that night. Yeah, this is when she starts to hurt now. Line drive that got Ethan Small early in this ball game. Now you start to feel that one a little bit more.
Better high fastball right by Weiss.
That fastball hold plane too. If you see the fastball in that location from France when he's out there, you're going to see a lot of swings underneath it, because if he's throwing that fastball up in the zones where it just stays there, it doesn't have any late sink, hard to get on top of that. Then he cuts it.
Little cutter.
And there's not much, all right? So cut fastball is going to move away from a right-handed hitter. And some of the best cutters don't move that much. They don't need to. Watch it spin. There's a little bit of the spin that just takes it away from the right-handed hitter, and that time it just froze Weiss. Right at the last minute. Eddie was talking about it just a minute ago. It doesn't move much, but the movement of it is way late.
Jonathan Schiffer, the first baseman, and the 9-hitter. Just down. Single, and he flew out to center field. 0-0. Top of the 8th inning. College World Series. Laura Rutledge on the field. Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez. Carl Ravage up here in the booth. Delighted to be back in Omaha for another season of the College World Series on ESPN. This one popped up, giving chase, but it's going to end up in the seats, about 8 rows up. Washington was the only Pac-12 school that had never reached Omaha in the College World Series. And as Laura said at the top of the telecast, if you weren't with us when Lindsey Meggs took over here, he said the goal, of course, is to get to Omaha. And they kind of chuckled a little bit. Washington, of course, with the Mariners playing really well, has had some baseball success, but Washington, the university, is a football school. Right field, and it was falling quickly, but Elijah McNamee came in to make the play, and they were 2 down.
The College World Series Finals begin Monday, June 25th at 7 on ESPN.
Who will be dogpiling at the end of that? That's 2 out of 3. College World Series Finals start Monday. Banana splits all here. Mississippi State's used the banana to rally themselves through 5 elimination games, and they're hoping tonight to break through first and hold on to get a victory. Been a very well pitched game. Mason Cirillo.
No swing.
So you're the home plate umpire there, Frank Sylvester, and you're saying no swing, and then you point to third. What would happen if Billy said swing?
Oh, well, maybe.
Okay, he saw it differently.
Stay there. Stay there. Get that swing on that pitch. Throw it again.
He went down with it. Assumed Demers is going to come back on the mound. When he does, he appears to have developed a little bit more of a shoulder turn, a little Cueto-esque, Louis Tiant type swing. It's just something to look forward to when he goes back out there. He's been so effective and efficient, but he does appear to be turning the back a little bit more on the hitter than he had in the first couple of innings. See if that continues. There's that cutter again.
4 of his 7 innings, he's thrown 8 pitches or less. 8, 7, 7, and 4.
Yeah. Has he broken a sweat? Calm, cool.
I have.
The floss dance really kind of raised the temperature, didn't it? Right at the third baseman, and a good job by J.P. France. Welcome to the College World Series. 9-1-2 coming up for the Bulldogs when we come back to TD Ameritrade.
Figured it's probably not good enough just for us to watch the game here. How about we go to Omaha?
Really?
Do you want to go up to Omaha and let's go watch the College World Series together?
Golly.
Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Just me and you to take a road trip?
Shoot, family business. Break my heart here.
Well, happy Father's Day. So me and you are going to pack up tomorrow and we're going to head up to Omaha. Go watch Mississippi State play.
No better way to spend Father's Day weekend than in Omaha. And Matt Lee and his dad Billy here. Matt, you surprised your dad with tickets here. Why did you want to do that for him?
Just something we've always talked about. It's always kind of been bucket list, and State went on this incredible run. Like I told my mom, don't know, where we're going to be in the future. So just felt kind of moved to do this, and has been great. Just all the stories, everything that's come out, the inspiration. I mean, I just took the video just to have a moment with my dad so I could have that for my lifetime. And then all I did was I shared it with the baseball teams. I wanted to show them that what they do out there really provides a lot of different things for the people that they don't even know. It touches a lot of people, provides us the opportunity. So that's why I did it.
Billy, what does it mean to you that your son did this for you?
Just like what?
What does it mean to you that your son did this for you?
You see the hair standing on my arm? I can't talk sometimes. He's the best thing in my life, next to my wife. But we raised him right, and God blessed us. And I can't. You see, I'm stuttering. Because it's just the hair's going up on my legs. But he's one. We've got a great family with the other siblings, and they're a meshed family. We're a cohesive family, and Matt, is it matter?
Get two, Mangum. All right, this is our inning. We win the 8th, we win.
Okay, so tomorrow is Father's Day. What are the Father's Day plans for you guys?
My wife is making all those arrangements, and so I back off of that. But she's a champion of my family. I would be dead ghost without. I'm getting stuttering again with it, because she is the base of our family, and she and Mac take mess like that all the time growing up, and I would just get out of the way and let them do their thing, and that's by God's mercy and grace, he welded us together. So
you guys enjoy this so much together, and thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate it. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Safe.
Guys.
Thank you, Laura. What a story that is, and what a gentleman that is. And the idea that he got out of the way, that man never got out of the way. His presence has created a terrific family and a wonderful son doing something like that. That went viral when he did it, and it will go viral again tonight. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Lee. Well, they may have some magic going here, whether it's bananas or the family. Alex Hardy has come on to pitch. Demers is knocked out of the game in the 8th inning. And they certainly love their baseball all across the country. They certainly have an incredible relationship with the team. And Demers is responsible for Mangum on second. In 7 1/3 innings, he really allowed nothing. He threw roughly 10 pitches per inning.
Tell you what, we talked to Jason Kelly, pitching coach for Washington, about this very thing today, because if you go back against Fullerton, Demers cruised, and then when he got to the 9th, kind of ran out of stuff.
Yep.
And I think the hardest thing for a pitching coach and a head coach in this spot is to balance what you see with your eyes to what you've seen up to that point, because it could change pretty quick. That time Mangum put a really good swing on it. If that sinker gets up in the zone, and at this point 1 is a lot, because 1 could be enough if State can hold on to the 9th inning. If they get 1 right here, I agree with this move right here, because Hardy is totally different stuff.
And you have to go back to that last inning, also the 7th inning, 2 fly ball outs.
Yep.
And that's a tall tale that tells you, listen, it's probably time to go get him. And the defense has really played well for the Huskies. That infield has been fantastic. Jordan pretty much single-handedly has done a fantastic job at shortstop. The focus has been there. The feeds have been great. The footwork has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it has. And when you're a sinker ball and you're out there and you know you have this behind you, how about this? Spin now. Spin the solid throw by Jordan out at shortstop. It allows you to go out and do what you do. Just sink the baseball and trust the guys behind you. Last few innings, the ball hasn't sunk as much, and it didn't with that pitch to Mangum. So now they go to the closer, Alex Hardy, who really has been their shutdown guy at the back end of ball games. 3-pitch guy. Fastball will show you a 4 and a 2-seamer. Slider and a changeup. Mangum standing on second base, still scoreless here in the bottom of the 8th with the heart of State's order coming up.
59 innings, 45 strikeouts, 21 walks. The first team all Pac-12 this season. And he gets Rowdy Jordan, the 2-hole hitter, who has yet to get a hit. With Mangum in scoring position at second, the outfield is way in. Foul ball.
And now it's a different look. And because of it's a different look, the hitters go back to the batter's box. They go to the back part of the box. They were creeping up earlier against Demirs. Now it's a different look.
It's hard to, and you can see it on your television, but hard to really give you a feel for how shallow the outfielders are. This is flashbacks to early 2011-12.
Here's the thing now, this guy does have some juice. Rowdy Jordan with 7 home runs this year, and there's a little flash in that bat. Not there, though. Ground ball to the right side.
Bobbled, and did he step on the bag or did he not? Not a reviewable play, but the first base umpire says yes. Hardy went over there. Schiffer bobbled the ball for a second. It looked like he was going to flip it to his pitcher, and then the question was which foot tagged first base.
Yeah, watch Hardy right here, right at the last minute, because now you got to break down. So you're going over there right at the last minute, but the breakdown is to get out of the way, because once the ball goes down, Schiffer looks up, decides it's going to be a little bit quicker if he takes it himself, which he's right. The flip from that close makes it a lot tougher for a pitcher to handle it. Hardy gets out of the way. Schiffer touches first base just in time.
Yeah, but Mangum has moved to third base. So now Cale's got to make sure no ball gets past him. And Tanner Allen's got a chance here to be a hero in the bottom of the 8th inning. Add to his 44 RBIs. His 44 RBI, second on the team to Luke Alexander's 46. Strike one. They know from elimination games they have certainly played enough close games. They've beaten some of the best teams in the country in the SEC. Now trying to break through against Washington in their College World Series opener.
Yeah.
And Demirs taken out after 74 pitches, as anxious as anybody in that dugout. High chopper. Jordan solid again. Levi Jordan has been gold at shortstop. Another runner stranded at third. Through 8 with zeros on the scoreboard.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series. It's presented by Capital One. Just a terrific ball game tonight. Neither team has made an error. The starting pitchers were outstanding. We're into the bullpens, and it is 0-0 between Pac-12 Washington, SEC Mississippi State. New pitcher on the mound for Mississippi State. It's Cole Gordon, the junior out of Tampa, Florida, at 6'5", 241 pounds. Here are the numbers on him: an ERA of 4.8 in 53 innings, 63 strikeouts. He's given up 48 hits, 32 walks. He's going to have to deal with Washington's 2, 3, 4 hitters, including, and that means Braden Ward leading things off, the speedster, who has been on base twice and stolen a base.
Gordon threw the ball great in the super and was one of the key reasons why Mississippi State could hold on long enough. We haven't seen this in a while. 30 years since we went scoreless through 8 innings. South Carolina, Arkansas that time. The Hogs had win 1-0 in 14. For Gordon, A lot of those strikeouts that come on a curveball. Fastball's pretty good, has a little bit of cut. We'll get into the low 90s, but it's a real 12-6 curveball, a changeup behind it.
How comfortable are these two teams with late inning heroics? Mississippi State has 10 final at bat wins, the most among the teams here. Washington is second with 9. And this is the first time that the Bulldogs have played a game that was scoreless through 8 innings. Be aware of Braden Ward and the bunt.
Ball. Bucks.
Back on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. The Huskies played a game that was scoreless through 8. They ended up beating Arizona 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike.
So important to get this first hitter out. Braden Ward, the speed is there, especially against a right-handed pitcher. Loves stealing against righties. Third baseman's in.
Double-barreled action. Riley Self, the righty. Zach Neff is up and warming. He's the lefty. And 3-1. Washington would love to get Braden Ward on base.
I give him the mandatory take here. 3-1. Yeah. I need you on base. Yeah. Prove to me that you can throw a strike twice. Back to back.
Here's one. There's another one, and he fouled it into the seats. Cale 0 for 3. Ward is the speedster with 19 stolen bases, and the numbers around him when he gets on, scoring about 40% at the time. Another 3-2 right down the middle, and that one just foul.
Surprised Luke Alexander, the shortstop, isn't pushed a little bit more into the 5-6 hole right now too, because you can see the approach, and that one was just foul. But the approach right here from Ward is to try to drive everything the other way.
Well, he's playing no doubles now down the line to third.
Yep.
Spread out. Anything hit soft.
May have swung at ball 4, and as he flies down first base, he is thrown out by Luke Alexander, and a big out for Cole Gordon.
I think you're right, Carl, on that one. Give a lot of credit to Alexander. As soon as the ball's put in play, he attacked that baseball. Did not wait for the ball to play him. He knows exactly who was the hitter. Second time he gets him out on a 6-3. That was a huge out.
Got behind 3-1, battled back and got his man, and here's Cale, who had home run power in that bat. First pitch away, ball 1. That one is hit hard, and it's in the gap in right center, and it gets down. Cale's first hit of the night. He's aboard with a single. And the house, Joe Wainhouse, as his coach says, the earth shakes when he moves to the plate. He has been on fire with the home run swing his last 18 games. The big fella's got 13 home runs. And we'll see if number 44 can deliver in this spot. The designated hitter, the senior out of Kent, Washington. Came here as a pitcher, ended up with some arm issues. Moved him into that hitter's role, and look what he has done on the season. This is a huge threat, even with the wind blowing like it is.
Zach Neff, the left-hander, was up and throwing in that Mississippi State bullpen, and you have to assume he was doing that for this at bat right here. Gary Henderson had not moved Called for a pickoff right there just to give Neff a little bit more time. Now, it may take a lot of time when he goes out there, but I'd be surprised if we don't see Neff in this spot to face a left-handed Wainhouse.
Wainhouse, equal opportunity damage hitter, though. He does hit lefties as well as he does righties.
Yeah, the splits are about the same. I mean, he's above 300 against righties and lefties over the course of the season. For Neff, he did have some good outings in the super regionals coming in going left on left. So 301 against right-handers, 330 against left-handers, and power numbers pretty spread out. But he will, in fact, face the left-hander here. Zach Neff in from the Mississippi State bullpen, still scoreless in what has been an outstanding evening tonight. The biggest slugger that Washington has a chance to change it all when we come back.
Cone, third round from Shinnecock Hills, highlighted by Dustin Johnson's day. That didn't go so well for him, but it didn't really go well for anybody. Good pitchers on the mound tonight. Scherzer, Severino, Bumgarner in action. Jay Billis on what the teams see or don't see in one of the foreign products coming NBA draft. All right, Kyle, you see the leaders at Shinnecock?
I did.
You did?
We're not under par.
No, they're all +3. Daniel Berger, Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Tony Finau.
Tony Finau with a 66 today, Eddie, out of nowhere.
That's your guy. Mississippi State hopes Zach Neff is their guy. He's on the mound. 31st round pick of the Twins. This just feels like the lefty-lefty matchup that you want, but none of the numbers actually suggest it's necessarily the right thing.
Well, they don't. We showed the splits that Wainhouse is actually hitting better against lefties than righties this year. Neff is actually better when facing righties than lefties this year. Against lefties, they're hitting 333. Against righties, 248. That's a pretty big gap.
And during the warm-ups, the slider wasn't as good and as effective. Has to be able to execute right now against this big man. Probably the biggest man he's seen from the left side ever.
Both big power threats for each team up here. You got Wainhouse this inning, and Mississippi State probably very aware that McNamee dude who's been crazy in the postseason so far, he's due up second for Mississippi State in the bottom of the ninth. Not close to that slider. First pitch strike must feel great, right, for a pitcher, Kyle? Just to get that first pitch strike.
Now you got to take advantage of it. I mean, now is when you got to try to expand the zone even more. When you see that swing, you want to keep throwing the slider, but now move it 5-6 inches off the plate. If you get another swing, now move it a little bit further.
Marty Jordan, left fielder, shaded way over towards center field. If Wainhouse can somehow get one down the line and left, they'll be in business. The Kale will be moving. They've stressed the development and growth and maturity of Wainhouse as a hitter. This is a big time to prove it again for Washington. Late, very late, even it was an 82. Guessing a little bit, and now behind 1 and 2.
Throw it again.
A little bit further, though. Let's not forget last time he struck out, it was on a fastball up.
Yep.
Out of the zone.
Chase is way outside, and a good job by Neff, who came in and really didn't give him much to hit. Third strikeout of the night for Wainhouse.
You know, Rav, it goes back to what you said, though. You throw strike one or get strike one on the swing. Now it just allows Neff to do a lot of other things. Even the breaking ball miss goes 1-1, but comes back, goes slider. So 4 pitches in the at-bat to Wainhouse. All are sliders. None would have been for called strikes, but yet got Wainhouse to swing on 3 of them out of the zone.
Wainhouse frustrated. For a guy his size, never played football. Mom didn't want him to, and then when he got to high school, he said, nope, I'm in on this baseball thing. Of course, Dad, the major leaguer. Played basketball for a while, used his big body, but wasn't skilled enough there. He's become a baseball hitter. Now he watches as Levi Jordan, who's been so good in the field, yet not at the plate tonight, 0 for 3. Got a pitch to hit, but he sends it into the seats and right.
This situation where you usually play no doubles defense, both in the infield and the outfield. The infield, yes, there are no doubles infield, no doubles defense, and this is actually because of the wind, the no doubles defense for the outfield. Blowing still hard in. If you play too deep, might get a double hit in front of you.
He's had a very good tournament up until tonight. And that one is going to go through it into right field. Cale will stop at second base. He had to stop because the ball almost hit him, so he literally had to slow up. And he couldn't get to second, let alone third, quick enough to move.
Yeah, had to jump. If he doesn't have to do that, he goes first and third pretty easy on this. But breaking stride and obviously making sure you don't get hit, because then that ends the inning. Watch the break on first by Cale, and then right here has to make sure this ball's not going to get him. Goes airborne. If he doesn't, it probably does hit him right there. But because of that, slows up, and I think makes the right decision. McNamee has a big-time arm in right field. And the last thing you want to do in this spot is get thrown out by 3 or 4 steps at third and end the inning.
Dangerous hitter A.J. Raffanino set to come up. Do you think about pinch running for Cale at second base to get more speed?
No, not with my 3-hole guy now. Nope.
That's your catcher. He's been making the calls behind the plate. Yeah. He's got a really good feel for what the hitters have been doing. Outfield comes in. Raffanino has not shown a lot of power this year.
Doubled his first time up, elevated the next 2 times at the plate with flyouts to center field. And a high chopper with a good hop, and it's fielded cleanly by Luke Alexander, who steps on second. Stage is set for some Bulldog magic, and they got the right guys coming up, including Elijah McNamee. He's batting second this inning, Elijah McNamee. 2-zip, bottom 9, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He goes 3-run walk-off to give the Bulldogs a 3-2 win against Florida State in the elimination game. Super Regionals 8-8, bottom 9, 0-2, 2-run ding-dong. Mississippi State wins the Super Regional in 3 games. So the table is set for more McNamee magic. He's on deck. Hunter Stovall, who has reached base twice, will lead things off. Feeling it again, or are we making too much of the McNamee magic?
Feeling that I like the way this thing's gone. I know that. Nothing to 9. It's not a bad way to start it.
No. If he can go yay deep against that wind tonight, hats off.
You're going to have to hit it in the bullpen.
You can go to left.
You're going to have to hit it in the bullpen, I think.
You can get one out to left.
During the day, yes. I don't know now.
Here he is, already out there. And how about the start to the 9th? Hunter Stovall's been outstanding with 3 hits tonight. And that brings Elijah McNamee to the plate. The junior, 6'4", 200-pounder out of Cypress, Texas. Rounded into a double play, singled in the 4th, rounded to short in the 6th.
Who had no power to speak of until about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
He's not looking in for the bunt side, is he?
I hope not.
Third baseman's playing in.
No home runs for McNamee in his first 32 games. He's hit 8 since. 5 in the postseason. That's more than anybody else in this tournament.
Stovall has the most stolen bases, second most on the team, 10 for 12. Fouled at the plate. His eyes get big. Yep, mix it up in there a little bit. Magic dust. No bananas in there.
third baseman's playing the line for the no doubles, but the outfield is actually playing regular. Any ball hit over their head, this game's over.
Mississippi State crowd not happy to see Jason Kelly, who's in charge of the pitchers, run out there to talk to his closer.
Jason Kelly, nephew of Pat Kelly, which is with the Cincinnati Reds.
If you were able to listen in, what do you think you'd hear here?
I don't think they think he's going to bunt. So to me, it's more of a discussion about scouting report with McNamee and how exactly they're going to handle him right now. Sometimes you go out and it could be a discussion to be, hey, stick with me on this one. You may have something in your mind, but I get a pretty good feeling here. Or what do you like? Just making sure that your guy on the mound is throwing absolutely everything with conviction in the biggest spot in the ballgame.
It's been 3 years, 2015, since we last had a walk-off at the College World Series. Miami walked off to eliminate Arkansas in 2015. Up the middle and through. First and second, nobody out in the bottom of the ninth as Elijah McNamee delivers.
Back-to-back breaking balls, and the first one was a cue shot foul ball. That one McNamee stayed on enough. And he is in some kind of a mindset right now to where the ability to make one pitch adjustment is something that McNamee didn't really have until a month and a half, 2 months ago. He's got it now because that time he got enough of it. He didn't smoke it, but made enough of an adjustment on a pitch that was in almost the exact same location to line it up the middle.
It's a game of adjustments. He's done it well, and he's been coached well. I think that's the biggest part. He's trusting the process, and it's working right now for him.
Justin Foscue has 2 sacrifices this season. He's next man up with 2 on and nobody out.
Well, right now there's no secret what's going on. You have to bunt right here, and the bunt has to be executed well to the third base side. Make the third baseman field it.
And then if you're the third baseman or you're the pitcher, make a good throw. Don't throw the game away trying to get an out either at third or first base. Winning run, Hunter Stovall. 3 hits tonight. He is down at second base. McNamee at first. Foscue already in the bunt position, and they look Stovall back to second.
That's a set play. Both corner infielders, they didn't even budge. They knew it was coming all along. The bunt is being showed. That bat angle has to be pointed more towards the second baseman, the tip of the bat, in order to get that angle down.
Hops it up. Caught by the catcher. Hale went back and got it. And a huge miscue by Mississippi State.
You squared around way too early. Yes. You're already pointing that bat. You stiff it up a little bit and watch the bat head. Let's see if we can see it from this angle. See it drop right there? That will not work. You have to be able to keep that bat head above the ball. Keep your knees bent. See, the knees are bent, but watch the bat head. He stabs at the ball. He jabs at it. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to catch the ball with the bat, keep the angle steady, and keep it in front of the plate.
And your bottom half has to go with it. Your bottom, I mean, the knees are bent to start, but you got to bend them more because you're going to keep that angle. That's the only way that you can do it. The minute that bat head comes down, the ball goes straight up in the air. It happens every time.
This level, I don't care how big you are or not, the repetition of bunting is a must.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luke Alexander in there for a strike. Alexander had a huge 10-pitch walk against Vandy in the Super Regionals.
Here's the thing, too. So it's one thing to not get the bunt down. The other thing is it totally allows Washington to defend differently here. Because if there's guys on second and third, the infield's in.
No doubt.
Or you're walking a guy to set up a double play.
No, you're walking.
But you've got to, at a minimum, you're going to play your corners in. So right now, you can still play your corners back, hard hit ground ball to either one of the corners. You can still turn a double play.
Strike 2, and the outfield is basically playing deep infield. I mean, they are able to hear the infielders breathe. So a huge challenge for Stovall if the ball were to even get to the outfield.
Ward is very, very shallow in center field.
Yeah, it's almost like a fifth infielder. Ahead 0-2 to Alexander. Right field. Back goes the right fielder Weiss. He can't get it. It's over his head. Around third and scoring is Stovall, and Mississippi State walks it off. With the outfield playing very shallow, Luke Alexander comes through. Third walk-off hit of the season for Luke Alexander. He had a walk-off homer against Ole Miss April 8. He had a walk-off double against Ole Miss April 24. And this one blows both of them out of the water as he walks off with a game-winning hit with a very, very shallow outfield to give Mississippi State the 1-0 victory.